I've heard this so many times. Phone call. Joe never came home last night. Maria wasn't here when I got home from work. And her things are all gone. Old story. To no one's surprise, this runaway and our runaways run out of money. And all those people, he, the young man in the story, and our runaways were staying with and partying with, quickly get tired of carrying them, or at least their parents do, or they get into hassles with those friends of theirs, living together day in and day out. And at that point, one of two things invariably happens. Number one, the runaways move out on the street, and almost always slip into the hands of some lowlife who will gladly take them in at the cost of their souls. We know that story. Or they go back home. Pregnant, maybe. Having impregnated somebody, maybe. Hooked on something, maybe. Insolent still, maybe. The worse for wear. Oh, we can all write this story. The young man goes back home. That's what he opts to do, because he realizes he had it better there. He plans a speech to a man he obviously doesn't know very well, an ultra-religious killjoy. So he makes it a religious speech. And if you haven't written already, join this up there, put it there by verse 18, I mean. Father, here comes this religious speech. I've sinned against heaven and against you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. But would you consider hiring me? While he's still a long way off, his father sees him because he was waiting for him like all the parents in this room who've had runaways. Waiting, worried, concerned. His father sees him and is filled with compassion for him. He runs to his son, throws his arms around him, and he kisses him. And then the religious killjoy throws a party better than any the son had in the distant country. We have had church parties here, New Year's, Valentine's, different times, and people who've lived in the world come back and say, we never had a better time than at this time. That's me. So we put a Mexican dance in there for Manuel especially. That's a real party. The younger son didn't know his father. So he took him instead for a religious killjoy. It's different with the older brother. Now you think that because he stayed home and did what was right and was with his father all the time, he'd know him better. But he doesn't. To him, his father's nothing more than a demanding slave driver. Would you write that? Maybe above verse 30. Religious, demanding slave driver. So he comes in from the field where he was working as usual, never misses a day. Here's the party, perhaps the biggest the father's ever thrown. The whole village is there. And then he finds out why. And he goes ballistic. He expected that brother would return someday. Knew he'd fail. Knew he would fail. He had his his sources. What he didn't expect, was that he'd get a party. The fattened calf. The father's own robe. The best in the house. The family signet ring, the equivalent of their credit card. And quite possibly a share again in the inheritance. Here's more what he wanted for his brother. You ever hear the story of the Jewish tie salesman? A fleeing Taliban terrorist, desperate for water, is plodding through the Afghan desert when he sees something far off in the distance. Hoping to find water, he hurries toward the mirage, only to find a very frail, little old Jewish man standing at a small makeshift display rack selling ties. Do you have water? The Jewish man replies, I have no water. Would you like to buy a tie? They're only $5. Taliban shouts hysterically, idiot, infidel. I do not need such an overpriced Western adornment. I spit on your ties. I need water. Sorry, I have none. Just ties. Pure silk. Only $5. Pah! A curse on you and on your ties. I should wrap one around your scrawny little neck and choke the life out of you, but I must conserve my energy and find water. Okay, says the little old Jewish man. Does not matter that you do not want to buy a tie from me, or that you hate me, threaten my life, and call me infidel. I will show you that I am bigger than any of that. If you continue over that hill to the east for about 2 miles, you will find a restaurant. A very fine restaurant. It's the finest food, and it has ice-cold water. All the water you need. Go in peace. Cursing him again, the desperate Taliban staggers away over the hill. Several hours later, he crawls back, almost dead, and gasps. They won't let me in without a tie. That's the sort of revenge that the older brother wants. His younger brother to crawl in and bear. So, for the second time that day, the father goes out to a son who's humiliated him before the entire village. And he pleads with him. But the son answers, as every man, woman, and child inside of the party is listening in on. Look, he says, all these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed your orders, never. Yet not once did you give me even a young goat so I could celebrate with my friends. You've been a demanding slave driver to me. To me. But incredible, you look the other way for this son of yours who blew all of our money. And I don't care who he is. My son, you could have had a party anytime. All you had to do was ask, or not even ask. Why didn't you know that? But we had to celebrate here. Because this brother of yours, not just a son of mine, was dead and is alive again. Both sons and the people that represent the sinners and the religious barely knew their father. They thought he was something else. And it fostered or festered, I'm not sure which, a core sin. We didn't get those out, did we? Let's pass those out, please. Thanks. Thank you, guys. We just want you to take these home with us. They're the same thing as what's up here. If you just focused up here. It fostered or festered. I'm not sure which comes first, the chicken or the egg. A core sin. We all have core sins. A primary sin. They're called deadly sins that we wrestle with the most. And it stems from not knowing the Father. Now for the younger brother, it was most likely, his core sin was most likely gluttony. Or greed. He won't give it to me, so I've got to take it for myself. For the older brother, he probably envied. The Father let him enjoy the best of both worlds, but not me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, my core sin, I said this to the Bible study, I'll say it again to the church. My core sin is fear. A belief that someone or something is dangerous and likely to cause me pain, which the Father can do nothing about. My core sin. Our question, what is yours? And as you look at them up here, the way we deal with the core sin, which is the chief impediment to knowing the Father like we should, and again, either the core sin caused us to misunderstand the Father, not know Him, or it was caused by our not knowing Him. One or the other. Chicken or egg. We begin by confessing our core sin. Would you please stand as we say this prayer of confession? I'll say a little bit. Would you please say a little bit? And you may have another sin that may not be a core sin, but a sin that is the sin you wrestle with the most. I know what mine is. I told you. Yours might be different. I hope it's on that list. If it's not on the list, then maybe it's some other one. Let's begin. Dear Father, I confess my core sin to you right now. Now in your mind's eye, could you just confess that sin right now to God? I come against it. With the authority Jesus Christ gave me. When I accepted His salvation, I claim victory over it. I want to know you and your Son better than I know my own self. And Sister, would you begin playing as we do the invitation? And for the invitation, could I please ask Della, Ronnie Ritchie, Joe and Des, Jesse Marquez, Vince, Mal and Sharon.